seekers of learning, welcome to Blackboard, a space where ideas are written, shared, and expanded both with creativity, innovation, and collaboration. Today, our focus is on a subject that is shaping the world at a lightning speed: STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These four pillars are not just academic disciplines. They are the driving forces behind solutions to our most pressing global challenges. They spark curiosity in the young and empower problem solvers. And of course, it fuels innovators of tomorrow. So we have today in the studio Mr. Khaled Danladi Bako. He is the founder of CDF Foundation. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon, viewers.
As we dive into the discussions, let us remember that Blackboard has always and will be a place where possibilities begin, and today is our launch pad for exploring how STEM can inspire, transform, and equip us for the future. So, sir, tell us, what's the state of STEM education in Nigeria? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities?
Okay, before I start, I have to discuss what STEM is all about, because a lot of people just know about STEM, but they don't know the acronyms. What does it stand for?
Yeah.
STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics.
Mathematics, yes.
So they are the main pillars of innovation, they are the pillars of creativity, they are the pillars of creative thinking, they are the pillars of innovation in the society. So it's very, very important, and STEM has been able to shape the way our society looks, the way we think, the way we innovate in the society today. So if you look at the statistics that has been published by the World Economic Forum, it says by 2030, the jobs that will exist have not been invented yet. So those jobs have to do with engineering, technology, innovation. So that's how important STEM is. So in Nigeria today, the way we learn has changed. The environment has changed. If you look at school holidays today, we have coding academy, we have different schools, we have digital literacy, which has not been done in the past. Let's take, for example, JAM, the Joint Admission Matriculation Board. In the past, we used to write the paper-based exam.
Yeah, the paper-based exam.
But today is digital.
Yeah,
you have to write the CBT training exams. If you also look at promotion exams, many ministries today, entrance exams today is computer-based. So that's
and WIPE is trying to introduce
WIPE is also trying to introduce similar thing. So that's to tell you that STEM has advanced in Nigeria. So the way we learn is different from the way we learned years ago. So there's a lot of changes. Changes has taken place. So let's quickly look at STEM in Nigeria. If you look at the Nigerian demography today, more than 60% of Nigerian population are below the ages of 25. So we have a very, very good advantage when it comes to youthful population in Nigeria.
Yes.
And who are the drivers of STEM globally? They are the youths. If you look at innovation today, if you look at most of the startup industry today, they are all youths full age. So we have this advantage of youthful population. And there's also a statistic that was published by National Education Research and Development Council, NERDC. It says that if you look at from 2019, the STEM participation has increased by 45%. So that's a political will from the government. If you also look at the statistic that was published by the Science Teachers Association of Nigeria, they say they have trained over 5,000 teachers on STEM. So that's showing you that there's a lot of political will in the government aspect. But let's look at briefly, we talk about the challenges and the opportunities. The opportunities are there to innovate. The opportunities are there for entrepreneurship. However, there are also challenges. STEM education in Nigeria is not even. You have to look at the urban areas and the underserved communities. So in the urban areas, they have advantage of having the coding academies. They have advantage of having different things in the urban areas. But in the rural areas, there are issues. There are challenges of inaccessibility. They have challenges of electricity. They have challenges of lack of internet connectivity. Because when you talk of STEM, connectivity. So the inequality is there. However, there are efforts that have been made by government and non-governmental organizations to reach out to these underserved communities. The other challenge is about the laboratories. You cannot talk about STEM without laboratories. So most of the schools in rural areas, they don't have laboratories. Some of them have and some of them are not being equipped. Even if you have the laboratories, you need power to run the laboratories.
So, to power
you need clean water to run the laboratories. So those are some of the issues. We also have to look at the shortage of teachers. You have to talk as STEM teachers. We have shortage of STEM teachers.
We don't have much
for you to be able to train the younger one in STEM, you must be knowledgeable yourself. So it's another issue. Even though efforts have been made, like the first statistics that I mentioned, that the Science Teachers Association in Nigeria has trained over 5,000 teachers on STEM, but a lot need to be done, considering the demography, because I mentioned that the youthful population of Nigeria is under the age of 25. So if you look at the youths and also the teachers, so we also need to train teachers when it comes to STEM. We also have some issues again when it comes to STEM is about gender, female representation when it comes to STEM.
So we have less of female.
We have less of female. If you look at the statistics that have been published by UNESCO, globally say 30%.
Okay.
Or 35% from UNESCO globally.
Okay.
In sub-Saharan region is 30%. And in Nigeria it says 22%. So we also need to bridge this gender gap. And if you look at gender, there are a lot of issues. It has to be cultural the acceptability in the society. And some parents also look, oh, how will I send my daughter to go and study mathematics? How will I send my daughter to go and study engineering and one of the related areas? And if you look at the common statistics in Nigeria today, if you go to the construction industry, how many females do you find there?
Very few.
Very few of them. So that's to show you that the number of females are very, very low in the STEM industry, and we need to bridge this gap.
Okay, I think that sums the next question I was going to ask you. What are the challenges that these students might face? And then if you look at it, you've already summarized it, the issue of accessibility, internet, and then staff. They are understaffed or under-trained. I would say they should be trained, retrained, and all of that. So let's just look at the current state of STEM education in Nigeria. How do you describe that?
Okay, first and foremost, I think the Nigerian government has done a lot when it comes to STEM education. If you look at the revised curriculum, previously the curriculum was old and outdated, but the Nigerian government has done a lot to improve the curriculum. The curriculum now incorporates innovation, it incorporates entrepreneurship, even at secondary level. So you can see there's a political will when it comes to the government. And there are a lot of policies the government has put in place, like the science, technology, and innovation. So those policies are in place to help. However, there are still challenges, even though the government has done a lot in their part, and there's a lot of political will. And if you also go to the Ministry of Science and Technology, there's also a department that deals with STEM. Also, does show a lot of political will from the government. And I must give a bit of credit, a lot of credit to the government. They have done a lot when it comes to STEM education. However, the government alone cannot do it. You have to have a non-governmental organization.
We need stakeholders to
collaboration. Not only the stakeholders, even the parents have a key role to play. When
they have to believe and allow children to practice
now, right? So we have issues, challenges with STEM, but we have to go back to basics. We have to go back to the parents themselves. They should be able to afford some basic STEM tools to the children.
For the kids.
We have to go back to the community leaders. They should be able to raise awareness about the importance of STEM. The world is
evolving, is going global.
If I give you an example, in the past we used to have Nokia phones. We used to have the Kodak camera that we snap.
In the past we have papers, you're not in the tab. I'll just come to the studio and
Nokia is not there, Kodak is not there. Today with your phone you can be able to snap. Why? Because those companies fail to invest in innovation. So we should be able to invest in innovation for the future of tomorrow. The world is moving at a fast pace. So we should be able to invest in innovation so that we can move with the global trend.
Okay, so have you seen any innovative approach, any innovative programs that you think is making a difference when it comes to STEM? Maybe if it's from the government or even from non-state actors.
Yes, there's a lot of innovative programs that are making headway. When it comes to government, you look at the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. They just introduced what we call the 3MTT, the 3 million technical talent. That is a right step in the right direction. So that's a good step. You know, they'll be able to train 3 million technical talent. So if you look at, you are able to train 3 million STEM professionals.
That's huge.
That's huge. So that's a political will from the government. When you look at NITDA, they have been training people on digital literacy. That is great. If you go to Ministry of Science and Tech, I've seen them training a lot of people in science and tech in digital literacy. This year, I was fortunate to participate in a program, ECOWAS program for West Africa. And I can tell you that we have a lot of potential, the huge potentials in Nigeria. You can see a lot of our youth are innovative. So if you look at the startup industry during that program, a lot of Nigerian youth came up with a lot of innovative ideas. So
to sell
to the world. We have Nigerian youth that have developed so many apps that are being used. Just take for instance the Flutter Waves today.
Yeah, the Flutter Waves, and it's a huge success.
It's a huge success. So if you look at also the healthcare sector, they are making waves to develop solutions. Even with the National Health Insurance Scheme, there are apps that most of these startups have developed to enable the system to move faster. If you also look at the agri industry, a lot of Nigerian entrepreneurs have done a lot. So I believe we have a huge potential in this.
Okay, are there any particular region or community where you think STEM education is thriving? Any region that you think, okay, STEM is present here?
Yes. For instance, Lagos. Let me give you an example in Nigeria. Lagos. STEM is really thriving in Lagos. And if you look at Lagos, there are a lot of digitalization that have gone through in Lagos. There are a lot of organizations that have offered STEM bootcamp. They have offered a lot of training. Not only Lagos. If you look at Abuja also, STEM is thriving. So if you look at Kaduna, Port Harcourt, most of the urban areas in Nigeria, STEM is thriving. They have done a lot. I give you an example in my organization. So recently we have developed what we call STEM competition. So it was open for children between the age of 8 and 13 in rural areas to be able to give out their innovative ideas. And to my greatest surprise, we receive a lot of applications. And a lot of students have a lot of creativity. So STEM is not only thriving in one location. I'm just giving you instances of places with the highest number. But if you look at the entire country, STEM is thriving, even in rural areas, through craft. It must not be something that has to do with internet. Even if you are developing a mat, you are producing a mat today.
It's a creativity.
Art. If you go to primary school in rural areas, they are doing a lot. But it's not even. The urban areas have gone far than the rural areas.
Okay, listeners, we go on a quick break, and when we return, we will look at why STEM matters, why STEM is very important for us here in Nigeria. Don't go away.
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, a young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajani?
We were just talking about offering Odigi a seat on the council.
May God be praised. Legodo Nselko Sisi, he has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, a young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajani?
We were just talking about offering Ojigijag a seat on the council.
The gods be praised. Nego don't sell Kosisi. He has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Blackboard on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 507, and Free TV on UHF band channel 38. Before the break, we were talking about STEM with my guest, Mr. Caleb Danladi Bako. So we want to know why STEM is very important to us here in Nigeria. How can STEM skill help tackle Nigeria's biggest challenges? When I talk about our biggest challenges, you already know what it is. I'm talking about unemployment, health issues, and of course, even climate change.
Okay, that's a very important question.
Using STEM.
Using STEM. So, first of all, STEM is all about creativity, problem solving, is innovation. So STEM, we have used STEM to be able to tackle a lot. If you look at some of the innovations that have to do with renewable energies, among our Nigerian youth today is through STEM. And people that have invested in STEM, we can see the result. It's not about the number, but it's about the impact of STEM. If you look at the challenges we are having today, like unemployment, what STEM has done is to create employment opportunities. If you engage in art of creativity, if you engage in art of innovation, it's going to create a lot of employment opportunity for you. It's not only for you, but you are employing people that work for you. For instance, we have young Nigerians that have fintech industries. Yeah. They are not only providing employment opportunity for themselves, but they are also providing employment opportunity for others.
Yes.
That's one part of job creation. If you look at the challenges we are having today in our society, like power issue, water issue, the healthcare issue.
You now have solar, which is
which has complemented. So a lot of our youth have creative mind. They have been able to come with innovative ideas on how to improve power in our communities today. So if you look at it, if you look at also the healthcare sectors, they have come up with apps that you just be in your house today and be able to call for ambulance. Previously, you have to call, and if the network is not good, it's a problem. Yeah. But within a minute or within a second. When it comes to agriculture, they have also innovated a lot that you can sit and you can send drones to go and inspect the farm and look at the challenges that are happening. So a lot has been done. If you move to the human resource aspect, we have a lot of innovations that have been done. Instead of using the Excel, now you have what you just use within a click. So they are providing solutions to
lightning speed.
Exactly. The speed is there, and the efficiency is not only about creativity, but they have improved efficiency from the way things are being done. So it's about creativity, problem solving, providing innovative solutions.
So how do we inspire young people to be more STEM inclined, especially the girl child?
Okay, very important to inspire them. It has to do with awareness. We have to raise awareness.
Creating more awareness, because some people don't even know what is STEM. That's why when I started, I have to take time to explain, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So some people don't even know what is STEM. So we need to raise awareness about STEM. We need to go back to basic. We need to go back to the communities, to the local communities. We need to engage traditional rulers. We need to engage our youths to understand the benefit of STEM. We need to print posters. We need to showcase successful people. Have to come and talk about their stories. Success stories. To motivate others. And motivation is very important. You can ask these people, I have a STEM boot camp in this community. But if you don't motivate them, they are not going to go. You also need to create awareness for them to understand that the future lies in STEM. The future of work lies in innovation. It lies in digital literacy. So that is very important. I give you an example today. If you look at the recent JAM score,
if you look at the rural areas, the performance is not encouraging compared to people in urban areas. And from my NGO, we are able to carry a need assessment to find out why. And we found out that most of them knows the answer, they know the question, they know what to do, but they don't know how to use the computers. Yes. So we have to go through, we have to carry out what we call need assessment in different areas to identify the challenges and to be able to tailor our training to address those specific needs. Because you can't just tailor a training that doesn't address a specific need. You must carry out a need assessment. And then we have to carry out a monitoring and evaluation at regular intervals to be able to find out, okay, how successful are these policies we have implemented. And then at the end of it, we also have to carry out an impact assessment to know, okay, it's not about the number, but also what impact has this been able to make. Yes, and parents also have a crucial role to play. From PTA, they need to raise awareness about STEM. Parents also need to motivate their children about STEM. So it's very, very important. And that last point I want to mention is about STEM competition, which we have adopted in our non-governmental organization. So you have to engage them in STEM competition to be able to provide them a platform for them to showcase their talents. Exactly. And there should be also a reward, because when there's a reward for some, next time you have more people now coming to it. And very important, I know the government has done a lot. Also, we must have favorable policies that will encourage STEM. And again, we talk about innovation and entrepreneurship. So we should be able to have a lot of incubation centers where these people can come, because a lot of people might have learned how to install solar, but they don't have a workshop, or somebody have learned how to use computer, but he doesn't have a place to start his computer. So incubation centers are going to help them. And we should also have interest-free loans. We should be able to have favorable policies to help them. I know we have done a lot in this country, but we also need to do more again.
Okay, so what opportunities does the country stand to gain if more young people embrace STEM?
Global competitiveness. We are going to compete with
international.
We are doing that already. You can see the result. If you look at the floater, you look at a lot. We are doing that already. So global competitiveness, the result is showing already. Nigeria has done a lot. Anywhere you go today, we have done a lot in the tech industry, in the healthcare sector, innovation, entrepreneurship. We are up there. So I believe that we will also get higher. If we are in number 3, we will target to be number 1.
So looking ahead now, what's your vision for STEM education, let's say maybe in the next 10 to 15 years for Nigeria?
Okay, for our organization, we have the short, the medium, and the long time.
Can you put me through the short, medium, and the long time?
Okay, the short term for STEM, what we do is to carry out a need assessment now in communities, understaffed communities in some target areas, to be able to find out their problems. What are their challenges? And how to address people with digital literacy, because you just mentioned now that WAEC is going to go digital too, so we have to find out what are their challenges. Then we have to tailor some of our training needs to address those challenges. Then those are the short term to be able to address the challenges. For the medium term, we should be able to train certain number of youths. Now we have a target to train 500 youths from now to 2026. Those are our medium term goals, to train them on digital literacy, to have the basics of digital literacy, computer literacy, so that they can be able to compete with students from urban areas and other areas. So it's very, very important for us to understand those aspects. So we have to do that. For the long-term goal, we also have a plan to train entrepreneurs. Yes, we have to train entrepreneurs in different tech scale. We have a skill acquisition center that is under construction now. And when we complete this skill acquisition center, we should be able to train a large number of people on innovation. For instance, we have a training program that is going to be on renewable energies. So those are our long-term goals. Yes, and it doesn't stop like that. From the skill center, we are going to develop something that have to do with an institution or an entrepreneurship academy. So where we can be able to reach out to more students.
quite an engaging discussion we've had today. So finally, what's your last word, because we're wrapping up?
Okay, my last word is for our youth to be focused, to our youth to be innovative, for our youth to ensure that whatever they do, they put in their best. Because if you put in their best, everybody is going to see your talent and people are going to come for you. And a good name is better than sacrifice. So wherever you are, you have to represent our country. You know, we have a lot. We have
good ambassadors of Nigeria.
Ambassador of Nigeria. And think of innovation. The world is evolving. Don't be like Nokia or Kodak that fail to innovate. So
be like iPhone.
Exactly. At every time we have to think about creativity. We have to think about the challenges in our community and provide solutions.
Thank you so much for coming on our program. We really appreciate you for your time. And as we bring today's section of Blackboard to a close, I hope you leave with more than just the information. I hope you carry with you a new sense of curiosity with the courage to ask big questions and, of course, the determination to find answers. STEM is not just a career path, it's a mindset. It is about observing the world with wonder, thinking critically, solving creatively, and building boldly. The challenges ahead may be complex, but so are we, and together we have the tools to meet them. So till I come your way again, same time, same station next week, I am Princess Sobura Usman. Enjoy the rest of your day.